Hey guys, this is Seth here, and yeah, I don't even know where to begin here. So yeah, I did say that there were not guarantees that I'd actually be able to react to the Kirby Air Riders direct earlier today. I thought the odds were pretty decent that I could, but I didn't want to rule anything out either. Good thing I didn't because boy, oh boy, this has been a morning. Um, so where do I even start? Well, let me begin by mentioning one of the reasons why I ultimately couldn't do it. I was still awake around the time that the direct was going to happen. Then I remembered, oh, right, there's people coming over today um, to inspect stuff, the heating and cooling here. So, um, because it's getting cold now, so I thought, oh, they're going to be doing that right in the middle of the direct. That was very poor timing on my part to have this happen, but it couldn't be helped. So unfortunately, that alone probably would have doomed me from the start. But what basically did the finishing blow here? Um, so yesterday, I noticed that for whatever reason, when I would right-click folders in File Explorer, because I have Windows 11, I have a completely new laptop. It's only like 5 months old. But yesterday, I noticed whenever I'd right-click, folders in File Explorer would kind of lock up. It wouldn't exactly freeze because I couldn't click out of the window specifically, but I could go down to the taskbar, right-click that, or no, I highlight File Explorer and then click the X button, and that I could close it that way, and it would close. I also noticed that when I go into the Settings app, I noticed later on when I went to the Settings app on Windows 11 and went to the Accounts section, there were no account options on display at all. It was just blank. Um, I quickly realized, I looked up the info and I'm like, okay, it's a permissions thing. Well, by this point, it's like 5, 6 in the morning. It's bugging me like crazy that I'm still dealing with, because it's been going on for hours and it's been eating away at me. And I'm like, all right, I need to deal with this. And finding out that, the accounts options weren't on display in the settings app didn't help matters. And then even at one point, the start menu wasn't coming up. The Windows Start menu on the bottom of the on the taskbar wasn't coming up. So I was just dealing with all sorts of like there were just issues escalating here. So I'm like, okay, I need to get this dealt with. Surely it won't take long. It can't be that big of a problem. Boy, was I mistaken because turns out as I looked into it, it was clearly a permissions thing. I was getting access denied in the event viewer and stuff like that. So I ended up having to, tinker with permission stuff. I just ended up making things worse. So here's the thing about this laptop, that my computer that I have. The permission setup on it is just screwed up. I don't know what happened. I also don't know what. Just for the record, I still don't know what caused this latest problem to begin with at all. I still don't know. I didn't tinker with anything involving permissions at all, you know, in the recent few weeks at all. I decided to do it now, like, you know, early in the morning, like a few hours before the direct, because I thought, okay, this won't take long. And then I ended up causing some errors with the permissions, meaning, oh goody, I gotta reinstall Windows 11. At this point, it was like a quarter to 8, around 8 a.m. I knew damn well I was probably wasn't going to be able to reinstall Windows 11 in time for the direct. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to hold off. I'm going to let Windows 11, the Windows Update app, you know, do the process in the background, downloading it and installing while I'm watching the direct. And I'm just going to watch the direct, and I'm not even going to bother reacting to it because clearly there's just too much. Like everything right now was just telling me, Donnie, no. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to watch it, and I did watch it I did watch the entire hour of it. Ultimately, silver linings that I probably wouldn't have had much to upload anyway. Maybe my reactions to there being yet more characters that they announced. Like Marks and Darroch and and Waddle Dee and I'm kind of amazed how many Rick too. Like, man, so many more characters in this that I wasn't expecting that. That's probably the only thing that in this I probably would have uploaded a reaction to, and even that I'm kind of torn about because like I did feel like there was a slim possibility that we probably would get more characters. You know, Other than that though, I don't think there was really anything else. Like that was upload, highlight video upload worthy. Um, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy the direct. Like they've sold me on this game and then some. But yeah, I don't really think you would have gotten much out of reaction videos out of me anyway. So that's one of the reasons why I was torn about whether to even tune in for this to begin with, was because I didn't even know for sure if there'd be anything, upload worthy for highlights. So turns out my decision to just watch, you know, just simply watch it direct on my own and just enjoy it was the right decision. Fortunately, I did eventually figure out the issue with the technical problems. Once the direct finished, I immediately set it. Like there was still like a few more. It was almost done installing, so I had to wait another hour for it to finish installing. Then I was able to actually let Windows 11 install, reinstall. Once everything came up, I did fix the start menu problem, but then I noticed, oh, the bug is still there with the account settings in File Explorer, so that's a problem. So what I ended up having to do is I had to look up more information about what the problem is, and yeah, not fun. Needless to say, it wasn't intentional. I don't know what started this really. I really don't. All I know is that it should be fixed. Because I did run the troubleshooter, saw in Event Viewer where the source seemed to be, what was happening here. Ran troubleshooter, shocked to see that it actually fixed the problem by telling you there was some permissions that were off for whatever reason. And everything seems to be running fine now. I even did a reboot afterwards to double check, and things seem to be fine. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you what the problem is, how it started, but, all I'm glad about is that it does seem like the problem is fixed. So, I'm happy. But yeah, I just figured, I explained what had been going on, why I didn't end up uploading anything, and I figured at least this video, would help. So, but yeah, I'm just glad everything seems to be like sorted out now. It just stinks that I wasn't able to react to this, but you know, it just wasn't meant to be. Fortunately, next week there might be another presentation I'm going to react to, but I need to. I want to get, like I said in the previous video, I want to get your, everyone's opinions on this one because it's a dicey one, being that it's a limited run presentation and, well, limited run. But they actually do tend to have some pretty amazing game reveals for certain things. Like they had the Gex trilogy, I think a year or two ago. Um, there can be some pretty incredible reveals in these, but it's limited run, so you know. But anyway, that'll be for next week. For now, I'll see you all later. Again, I do apologize for the lack of reactions to this presentation, but things are just not meant to be. But anyway, I'll see you all later. But for now, this is SSF signing out. Sayonara, guys.